So first up, for those that don't know, let's just have a little conversation about what GVT or German volume training actually is. So it's a training methodology that was popularized in the 1970s by weightlifters in their off season who were wanting to put on a little bit of muscle mass. So key intention there is that we're getting bigger. We're trying to get bigger through this kind of program design, not necessarily stronger. Now, intentions.
We're going to create like some tension between the Russians, the Germans, and the Chinese because there's a lot of groups that say that they created this model, but based on literature, you're right. The credit is usually given to the Germans.
We'll give it to them this time. And we're looking to get bigger, and we're doing that not just through volume, but through a mix of intensity and volume. So it's 10 by 10. We're doing 10 by 10 in terms of reps and sets. And the way that this is structured, typically you're hitting it 3 to 4 times per week. And then traditionally it's either set up as a body part split or an upper lower split. I know in the design we're going to be discussing later, you took a full body resistance approach to how you laid everything out. So we'll get into why you structured it that way. And then it was very much popularized by Charles Poliquin. The split that he tended to use was day 1, chest back, day 2, legs, day 3, off, day 4, shoulders and arms, day 5, off, and then cycling back to day 1. So not a traditional like 7-day per week program, but run on that 5-day split. And then sometimes we see an upper lower split as well. So 1 day upper, 2nd day lower, 3rd day off, and then just cycling through that 3-day split there. Now, again, 10 by 10. We've got 10 by 10 in our compounds, typically doing antagonist supersets. So let's say that we're doing a push exercise. We're going to go ahead and superset that with a pull. And then the rest periods that are in there, because you're choosing supersets over just doing an A and a B, they can be on the lower side compared to if you were going to go through, 10 sets of pull-ups all the way through. You'd have to take a little bit longer of a break than if you were supersetting that with pushing exercise. Now, traditionally, it's going to be 2 compounds. So A1 or A2, you're going 10 by 10 on your compound movements. And then B1, B2, you got 2 accessories, and then you're out. And that is GVT in a nutshell.
Yeah, I mean, something to point out, and we'll talk about it when we get to the pros and cons, but 10 by 10, even with 90 seconds rest, that's still 40 to 45 minutes inside of that single superset. So on the surface, you say, A1, A2, B1, B2, and people are probably like, well, that doesn't seem like a lot. But you're spending a lot of time and energy and effort inside of that A1, A2. By the time you get to that B1, B2, you're basically just that your only goal there is to contract some muscles. So, it is typically laid out like compound and accessories to those compounds. But by the time that you get to those accessories, your motor units are so trashed where it's just like, I would actually recommend not doing accessories to those compounds, but just doing other patterns of movement or other body parts inside of those pieces. But yeah, the Poliquin brought it over to the United States and made it really popular here. That's where, I was introduced to GVT with this exact split, the chest, back, legs, off, shoulders, and arms. And you know what my favorite day was? It was shoulders and arms.
Of course it was.
It was such a good day. It was just like, hey, we're just going to, contract some muscles. And usually it was like non-compound, which was solid. But yeah, that was a great layout and explanation. I have nothing to add to that,
All
Georgia.
right.